You're absolutely right. You stumbled upon us. You probably don't know how you got here, but you came to the right place. You want to watch Dark Tourist, but you're like, I don't know if I should. We're going to tell you why you should.
Don't listen to the critics. I'm Anna, and this is Brandon, and this is the common critic.
So you should listen to this critic.
Yeah, this critic.
Not those critics.
Not the other ones, the common one. As you might have gathered, for this week's Hidden Gem, we're reviewing Dark Tourist.
Life can be dangerous when you're a dark tourist. My name is David Ferrier, and I've always been drawn to the weirder side of life, so I've decided to investigate dark tourism.
David, you're going to get hurt tonight. Right. You're going to get drowned. You're going to get buried.
Somebody's going to die tonight, you know? That vibe is just out there like the devil's out tonight.
I've been forced out of my comfort zone, and somehow it's made me feel even more happy to be alive.
I mean, how many dead bodies have you seen?
Hundreds.
Hundreds. Yeah, see, I've just seen one now.
Maybe that's the whole point of dark tourism.
The trailer doesn't even do it justice. Journalist David Ferrier explores the very weird and very interesting world of dark tourism. So dark tourism really is just people who want a vacation or holiday into their country or different countries, and they want to see not the regular tourist attractions, but the bizarre and the dark and the dead.
Like taking a weird holiday, some escapism, before going back to your normal, dull existence.
Yeah, I think my favorite description I've heard of this is a whimsical look at global disasters and atrocities.
That's a good description.
Thank you. It wasn't mine. But I do think it really walks the line well between making you walk away feeling enlightened, but not too guilty at the awful things you learn about and the fact that you might not have known about them before. Yeah,
definitely. And it gives you an inside behind the scenes, kind of behind the curtain look at different countries and even your own country, like I said, just tourism that you've never even thought of. So tell us, what was the good? What was your favorite part about this whole thing?
I think just the fact that it is so eye-opening. Like, it exposed me to so many things around the world that I didn't know existed and went on. And I guess without getting too deep, I particularly liked that I think society at the moment has a tendency to get like up in arms about issues and things happening in other parts of the world, but then we'll forget about them like a month later. So
Not even a month.
Yeah, like a week later. So a few of the episodes went to places that were affected by like natural disasters. Yeah, like in Fukushima in Japan.
Yeah.
And it showed that like the effects go on for them. Like, you can't forget about them if you live there.
The level of radiation, that's higher than around Chernobyl.
So I think my good kind of goes along with that point.
Yeah.
Because to take to Japan, right? So not to give you too many spoils, Japan, they actually have a tour bus that goes into places of really high radiation because that area of Japan, a tsunami wiped out the town, but decimated power plants that were high in radiation, right? So this tour company actually takes you through these high volume radiation areas. And there's my thing with this show is it's baffling. There are companies that profit off of this all over the world. So you can think of whether it's, Nazi Germany and reenacting World War II or, this in Japan or really whatever. If you could think of the bad or the death, this show covers it, and they show people that are profiting off it. So I think that's probably my good, is that you really get to see a whole new world of tourism.
Oh, yeah. With that, I think that's what makes it so great as well, the fact that it's very voyeuristic because David gets access to all of these places as press that you wouldn't otherwise be able to go to, and he also has these connections with people from these cultures and places that you wouldn't otherwise have. So like Pablo Escobar's assassin, he gets the story directly from him.
Gets to hang out with him.
Popeye, you killed people in this compound, right?
See.
And people love it. People want to meet you. People want to talk to you.
I think it's like a dark tourist dream to be able to have the all access that this guy has.
Yeah.
The one thing I will credit David and his team with, though, especially is that when they go to other countries that maybe they're not supposed to be or places that they're not supposed to be, they continue filming. So as documentarians, as a journalist, I think he does stay true to his journalistic integrity, his training. He's good at it, and he always presses the question.
So do you have anything to criticize then about it?
I always have something to criticize. That's why I'm really common critics.
Okay, what are your thoughts?
So, well, I didn't like that it was only 8 episodes. And I know that's kind of like a backwards compliment, like in an interview when someone's like, so tell me something bad about yourself. And you're like, I work too hard. There's only 8 episodes, and that bothered me because I wanted more episodes. So that was my first bad thing. But you know what? It's probably because of the budgeting or whatever, but I think it's a cop-out, Netflix. I think you make billions of dollars, and I think you got to give me more if I want more.
Yeah, but maybe they just did season 1 as a tester. Now they know you want more. Tell them.
I want more, Netflix!
More, please.
More, please.
Like some more, please.
More, please. Anyway, so that's my first bad point. And my second bad point is, man, David, you went to the U.S. twice. The first time you disappointed me because you went to New Orleans, and that's where we used to live, and we were super pumped because we were like, New Orleans? And then we're like, that's
Yeah, because New Orleans for sure has some shady, deep stuff going on.
dark shit.
It has crime syndicates and religious and supernatural organizations that run back like centuries, generations.
Yeah, it was a cop-out like vampire.
Yeah, it was cute. It was just a bit fluffy for me. Like I feel like they could have really dived into the vampire stuff at least.
I think so too. It would have been such a cool draw because so many people want to go to New Orleans, one of the biggest tourist destinations in the country. So if you're like, hey, by the way, this is what people in New Orleans see, but this is the real New Orleans behind the scenes. And then we would have been like, oh shit.
Yeah, but that being said, I think because it runs so deep, it's... I mean, I think you'd get murdered if you expose any of that stuff.
And then number 2, the second time they went to the U.S., they went to, they did a JFK thing, but I don't know if that's dark or if that's not common. You know, I mean, I think it's very common. Like, we've been there, and we've seen that stuff on the streets. Like, it's not super uncommon. It's a little dark because people are profiting off his death, I guess, but it's definitely not unheard of. So, I don't know. I just didn't like it. I hope season 2...
That is pretty bizarre if you think about it from an outsider's point of view. I think you might just be too close to it. The fact that you are from the US and you have been there.
Yeah.
I think to other people, other audiences, it might seem super weird.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I just hope in season 2 they show me something that, if they go back to US, I want to see something that I didn't know about. So if US is your draw, David, and Netflix, if this is your audience that you're trying to pull, show us something that we don't know shit about. Not like everyday New Orleans stuff that anybody knows about, or get JFK. Like, we know all that. I want you to take me to like a gold mine in...
No, you want to talk about US things people don't know about it. How about that horror house with, what's his name? I'll put it there. That's terrifying. Like, I can't believe that exists.
Okay, so that's the only good thing about the US. I will say that. You found a weirdo.
There's a place you can go to in America where you pay a man in dog food. And Russ McKamey, who is possibly a psychopath, to torture you until you break.
I mean, he only asked for dog food. He's clearly a psychopath.
Yeah, he's murdering people. If you guys find a lot of missing bodies in that area...
Oh, yeah.
Do you think he eats the dog food?
No, that's probably part of the torture. It probably makes you pay for your trip in dog food that makes you eat the whole bag.
Would you do it?
No, what?
Yeah, me neither.
Well, who would do it? Another
Lots
psychopath?
of people. No, a lot of people.
Well, yeah, well, there are waiting lists.
Huge wait list.
Yeah, anyway.
Anyway, so the world's waiting. What do you give it? Should they watch it? Or should they not?
Yes. If we haven't made that clear by this point, you should definitely watch it. You should watch all of it and learn all about the weird things in the world.
Yes.
I give it a 9.
I think that's a solid rating, but it's a bit too high for me.
Why? What do you think?
I don't know. 8.2. Yeah, I don't know. I don't care about these ratings. They're absolutely meaningless. But you should watch it because we binged it and we loved it and we recommend it.
Do you have any advice for people that might be wanting to watch this?
I do have advice for people that might be wanting to watch this, Anna. Why, thank you for asking. My advice for people that might be wanting to watch this is that you should watch this, take it into consideration, and maybe consider when you're on your next vacation, maybe go to some of these places or do some of these things. Off the beaten path, not just Disney World or the Eiffel Tower. Go to Japan and get radiation poisoning.
Yeah, see, would you actually do these things?
You know what? I think if I were in a country that I just happened to be visiting like as a tourist, and I remembered one of these things happened there, yeah, I think I'd check one of these things out. Why not?
No, don't do any of it.
Okay, whatever. I don't care. That's really weird and hypocritical of you, David. You did them all.
Thanks for watching, guys. Let us know what you think in the comments below, and please subscribe if you haven't already.
Ding! Hit that bell so you know when we...
Yeah, when we do that. Bye, guys!
Subscribe.